the newest wrestling radio show here in Canada on KPHR. We are A Plus Wrestling. We are your hosts. I am Boris, and as always, I am joined by Hutch. Hutch, how is it going, my friend?
It's going pretty good. Because we are the newest, it means we're still working out bugs, like exactly how to do our intro, right? So we'll get it down.
Well, it's for the record, for those of you listening on KPHR, we are recording this literally right after John Cena's final match on Saturday, which is just a quick reminder that you should probably go to aplusproductions.com, get all of your information for all of the shows. We typically like using the Facebook group. We are old men here. We use the Facebook group, and it is the best way to stay on top of everything A Plus Productions, A Plus Wrestling, and so much more. Facebook.com, A Plus Productions. That's EH and the plus symbol for A Plus Productions. You can go and subscribe to us, and there are a few ways that you can do that. Go to any of your favorite podcasting apps and search for A Plus Productions, or if you just want to listen to the wrestling shows, go to A Plus Wrestling. Hutch, man, it is like literally, we had just finished the show. We are live on YouTube. We are live on many places here for the first time this is the new paradigm, the new era for A Plus Wrestling, and so much more. But yes,
I don't know if we got I'm not sure if we got the YouTube down pat, but I'm sure glad I didn't start with my like fake crying bit. I would have been crying for so long here with that like big long intro. I'd been like, so like we dished the fake crying, but yeah, like don't worry, we're gonna get this down pat. We're gonna never give up. Yes.
We are on YouTube on the A Plus Productions. Fortunately, we had some issues.
We're on your
Henry's.
I'm very sorry, of course.
Yeah,
we're gonna try and
the
do
live
that in
is
the future.
Yeah, we have a chat going. So for those of you on the chat, we will post some things. If you do want to join the show, send me a DM. Go to the Facebook group, send me a DM, send me an email. I'll send you the link so that you can join us, be part of the show. In a little bit, we are going to be joined by somebody who was actually there in DC, former writer of Slam Wrestling. He is Bob Kapoor. He was there live. And the only thing I know about tonight was the only Gunther shirt available always had John Cena. So there were no solo Gunther shirts. He was very upset about that. But we're going to be getting his live reaction of being in the show.
Is there like can I go on Twitter or Instagram right now? Is Gunther like bitching about shirts?
No. That's what Bob said. That's all that Bob said for being there at the actual show.
All right. Well, you said Gunther is upset about it, so I thought, is he saying something? I should go on the Twitter. We should see what everybody thinks about John Cena giving up about all of it. What do you think? Did you have a good time?
I had a great time, man. You know, so it was a last minute decision for us to go live, which is fine. And I'm happy that we did do it because I love doing these post shows. I love being able to talk to the community. And, you know, sometimes you got the right thoughts. You got those thoughts going, right, my friend? So, yeah, I like the show.
Alive.
I know. You'll get used to it. I run better live. Trust me.
Yeah. All right.
I like the show. The show was good. It was a nice exhibition of some NXT talent, of seeing the future, and present stars like Oba Femi. Hutch, we're going to talk about that in a second. We saw Sol Ruka. We saw awesome tag team match. And, well, Gunther and John Cena. I believe the internet is going to be set ablaze about this match. But what are your thoughts overall about the show?
First thing, the thing that really stands out the most to me was that dude had never give up socks on. Like, he took off his shoes and he had never give up socks on. Like, that is commitment to the gimmick. I love it. He probably knew he was going to take his shoes off, so maybe he doesn't do that every night, but still, that popped me. Perhaps the first ever time somebody's left shoes in the ring. Their boots were actually shoes. But yeah, you know what my real impression was? Like, I didn't really get emotional in any fashion until it all went black. Like at the very, very end, we walked through the curtain and they like made it all go black on the screen, and my room was silent and everything went silent, and it was over. It was over.
Yeah.
And then just for a moment, I thought about it. And I thought about all the things that he might be thinking about during that long like promo that Triple H like pointed up and made him watch, you know, and like, you know, you think about like, I know that if somebody was playing that for me, you know, and everybody's trying to like pay homage to me, you know, I immediately would start thinking about my mistakes, you know, and like where I've had missteps and, you know, but that was a pretty long promo. I feel like by the end, he started to like appreciate it. And then like almost by the very end, he's like, okay, this is so cookie cutter promo. Like he's like laughing. And I think laughing laughing's like the emotion of the night. John Cena was having fun. Like he was laughing when he submitted. He was laughing at the end whenever he was saying bullshit. He was like doing John Cena calling spots. Like you can see him telling Gunther, like, okay, let me go. Okay, he called the splash very like openly, all kinds of stuff. So I think he checked out a long time ago. This wasn't about as emotional for him as WWE was trying to make it for us. And he was just having
That's
fun.
fine. I think John Cena shows emotion in many ways. I don't think that he wasn't emotional. I just think that he shows it in a John Cena way. I don't know how to describe that, but yeah, no, I know exactly what you do mean, and you can tell that there was a lot in the promo that got to him. I think I was watching his little screen, his little square, more than the actual promo itself, and you can tell that it did hit him at times.
And the problem is like he that is there all the time. Even at the end when he had the belts on, when they pulled back and gave a wide shot, there's a camera like right in the guy's face with his big red ears, and like he's just a man. But we're all just men. That's what maybe hits us all so hard. The kid in the audience where that one shot of John Cena from the side where they then change focus and you see the one kid in the background with the orange C Nation band on and the orange shirt. Like that's a classic shot, the John Cena profile, and then they switch the focus and the kid's right there in the background looking at John Cena. I wonder if he was wearing that stuff tonight. And we've all, the 23 years, like I've had a son who's 20 years old. I've had my own business. I've changed. I've grown skills. I've given up on dreams I thought were going to be everything that mattered to me. I've had a full life. I've made tons of mistakes and regrets, and I'm so proud of so many things. And like it's our lives here in front of us this 23 years, like I've been a wrestling fan for a long time. I remember John Cena was kind of like annoying, this guy who came out, and now it's all over. Like what have we done? What have you done with your life while John Cena is celebrating what everybody's telling him how great he is, and he's thinking whatever million thoughts he's thinking and moving on to the next phase of his life? And what did you do? That's why it's emotional to a degree. It's not that we're crying over wrestling. When some girlfriend is saying like, what's your freaking problem? When some guy didn't realize he was going to get so emotional. It's not because John Cena is retiring. It's because, part of you is retiring. Part of you, he was there throughout it all, and you reflect on yourself. Before I let you speak, have you ever seen that one YouTube clip or online clip of like the judge? He's like seems to be of like Asian descent, and there's a gentleman in front of him. He looks almost like Filipino, and he's older. They're like our age, and she's a judge, and she says to him like, "Where did you go to XYZ elementary school?" And he like, have you seen that clip? And he looks at her, realizes like he went to freaking like two with this lady, and he like just breaks down, because in that moment he was like, who am I? What have I done with my life? I'm sure there's a lot of people tonight.
Absolutely. And I think that's part of it, right? It's not so much, yes, John Cena retiring, it sucks. It's going to leave a gap. Let's be honest, he hasn't really been around too much over the past few years. But I think in moments like this, it's more, as you said, a reflection on your own life, especially when someone like a John Cena, who has been in WWE, the main roster at least, for 23 years, right? Or 22 years. And that, like you said, it really makes you think and reflect on your own personal life and things like that, right? So I do fully understand that. And I found myself at that point. I did find myself thinking about that, the highs, the lows, the goods, the bads, the times I saw John Cena wrestle and what was happening. On our midcast this week when we were doing the mixtape, I had mentioned the reason why I chose the Edge match as my number one match was because of what was happening in my life at that moment, right? And I still do feel that way. I still do feel like it's that reflection. Where was I in 2006? I could tell you my life was all over the place in 2006. And I was watching that Unforgiven match live in just the first few rows of the 100 level at ACC, hung over as shit, regretting every decision I made over the past few days, right? Things like that. It's that reflection, as you mentioned. And I think that's all of the things that are hitting us tonight with John Cena's final match. And again, very important, final match Won't be his final appearance, most likely. I'm sure we won't see him for a while, but he did sign a 5-year ambassador contract. He's gonna be around in some shape, way, or form. But yeah, man, what an interesting night. Again, we are live on KPHR, but we are also live on YouTube and other places, and we love interacting with the fans, and our fans, our listeners are interacting with us, so we're going to be popping up some messages throughout the show. So here we have goodbye John Cena. There we go. Simple, to the point. Brandon Finley, are either of you wearing jorts? Brandon, my friend, you don't want to know what I'm wearing. If I get up,
you
it's
don't
all
know
over
what I'm
for
wearing.
us.
Actually, what I'm wearing is very cute, but I decided to change my upper half. My girlfriend was like, "Are you wearing that?" I was like, "No, God, no."
That is...
Yeah, pretty interesting. Yeah, I like to think that John Cena knows what he was doing. We're talking about the future and whatnot. Putting the NXT guys on here, it's like everybody's talking about John Cena and telling him how great he is. And it's nice to see you, John. I love you, John. Retirement, John, and everything you've done for me, John. And they say that one of the quickest ways to be corrupted as a human is to have everybody telling you how great you are, is to have the fan base, especially the yes men. And for him to be able to realize that WWE needs this really bad. I don't know if it was really a spin. It's all kayfabe, but was it real that he's the one who said, "Hey, I don't want this to be about me. I want this to be about the next generation"? Or was that just for the interviews? They were like, "Why don't you go ahead and say this, John?" But either way, they desperately need it. They do desperately need it, because everybody around the ring there was their biggest draws, and those people are all getting close to retirement as well. And I think Obafemi did really well. I don't think he did amazing. I think there was missteps. I think even though everybody's like, he looks like a star, he looks amazing. Like, yes, he does. But at the same time, it's amazing how often the biggest stars of NXT come onto Raw, and we're all thinking everything we want to think about them, or we're hoping that they see it and wondering how many times they've dropped the ball, but they never quite look quite as big. It really is big fish, small pond. And now regular, Obafemi's pretty big, but big fish, big pond. It was interesting to see him in that light.
But
and
there are many times that someone gets called up from NXT and they look like they're lost. Karrion Kross losing 30 seconds to Jeff Hardy always comes to mind. In my opinion, I said this to the Poison Rana boys a few days ago, where Obafemi, I think he's having a almost Kevin Owens like debut, and I to this day put Kevin Owens as probably the best NXT debut and the start of a main roster career. And we'll see what happens. But you're right. Was it perfect? Hell no. Was the result what I wanted? Hell no. Was it the right result? Who knows? We're going to be talking about that and so much more. Go ahead.
If you're Bruce Pritchard, you drink the tea all day long. You're making the tea. You are sweet tea. In your mind, a mark reaction of that was so predictable and what a bunch of bullshit. And onto him, he's like, whatever. We got the ratings, we got the match. People know who he is now. He's gonna have a huge career. He's gonna be fine. In 3 weeks, nobody's gonna care about this. He lives the life. And I don't know whether it's that he doesn't give us onus, or whether or not we should realize that we are the fans. They are the machine. To them, they're like, yeah. Like when John Cena said in the interview, when I'm done, they're on to bigger, better things. Everybody's gonna forget about me in 6 weeks, 6 months, whatever he said in the interview was 6 days. It was almost depressing. He's like, I'll be done. Nobody will care. They have a totally different perspective. But for you and me, dude, what a bunch of freaking bull. Dude, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I released that video about nobody's thinking about what if Ricky Saints, interfered, or what if, a million different things they could do. But the most obvious is the Drew interference. But dude, literally the entire audience looks off to the side, and they all start making them, you could see, and I'm like, oh, here comes Drew. And then when Drew slid in and just started attacking him, I was like, wow, this couldn't have been more, I guess since this is wrestling, I should say, more telegraphed, more lame. And even the way it happened, just to slide in the beatdown, I was just like, wow, I think every single person in this audience could have guessed that. Well, maybe not John Barenthal and his kid. He probably has better things to do. I mean, any wrestling fan in the audience, full-time wrestling fan, would have been like, yeah, this is what's going to happen. So that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. We are here on KPHR. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook and so much more. Talking the entire hour, commercial free, all about John Cena. We're most likely going to do something in the middle of the week at some point to talk about the week that was and the week that will be. But today's show will mostly be focused on John Cena and Saturday night's main event. Speaking of Saturday night's main event, we are being joined by someone who was there live, someone who couldn't find a Gunther shirt. He is Bob Kapoor. You probably read a lot of his articles in the past at Slam Wrestling and so much more. Bob, welcome to A Plus Productions and A Plus Wrestling.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Hope you can hear me okay?
We can hear you great. I was praying that we would be able to hear you. The last thing I need right now is more technical issues. Well, actually, we haven't had any. They all happened before the show. Show's been going well. Bob, you are in Washington, D.C. You were there live. Talk to us about it.
It was a really good show. I'll say this. 3 of the 4 matches, I had the same comment. Really good match, right outcome, bad finish.
Yeah.
And I was walking out and I said, Triple H, not even being an active competitor, has booked himself to be the number 1 heel in WWE once again.
Yeah, he was laughing it off. Like, yeah. I was just saying before you got on, like, they live within this bubble. To them, like, they can predict all these reactions. And to them, it's just funny. Although it was smart of them not to bring out Vince McMahon.
Yes.
Because that would have just been big boos. Like, geez, there's lots of boos. And poor, like, they gave him the bullshit chant for the ending there, unfortunately. But how was it in the arena there? Was that a loud chant?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I've been at, for Hogan at Mania 6 in Toronto. I've been at, I think when Kenny Shamrock had a huge ovation when he knocked down Frank Mir. This was, or Silva, whichever one. This was one of the loudest cheers I heard was when Cena's music hit. Wow. It was, I think it blew out my phone microphone.
Yeah, it must be pretty intense.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
All right, so talk to us. So let's go a few hours back in time. You're getting to the arena. You're just scanned your ticket to go in. How is the mood? Like, we sometimes you can really pick up on a certain mood for events, especially of this size. What was the mood like stepping into the arena?
I would say this is the first time that nobody was talking about any other match except for the main event. Right? It was a fully pro Cena crowd from. Like everybody, there was not, people were chanting the "Let's go Cena," waiting for the "Cena sucks" chants in the concourse. Never came. People were just all pro Cena. It was pretty unbelievable. Even at the Superstore, right before the show, I went to the pop-up John Cena store, really, and I mean the whole place is it's really true. The Cena Nation or the C Nation, that it was that in the city, or at least in the 2 buildings.
Yeah, there's a lot of shirts and merch in the audience, especially after the tap out. They had more than enough fodder to go around and get reactions and people like in full Cena regalia from children to like fully grown adults. And like they had a ton to choose from at this show. That's for sure.
I have to be 100% honest. We'll talk about this when we talk about the actual match, but I audibly laughed out loud seeing the kids crying. Okay, that's the beauty of wrestling. But seeing grown adults full on tears and wiping tears because John Cena tapped out made me laugh so hard.
Bob,
I think it's great though that people get so into it and so behind him that they do get emotional, right? Like that's the one thing I've always loved is wrestling takes me back to being a kid again. And, I'm not going to say I cried or emotional about the tap out. I did get emotional watching the old, like the clips of him with the Make-A-Wish people and the other superstars giving him the props. I mean, that's the stuff that I really find, he's hit a level of respect that unlike probably anyone else, that he's seems to be universally loved, even though, from what I've heard, he's, off backstage or out behind the curtain. I've heard good and bad about him, but he's one of the guys.
I think it really depends what era of Cena we're talking about. If it's the Super Cena era, we know what a lot of people think of that. But I think overall now, a lot of people are talking a lot more positive about him. Whether it's just the retirement tour or if as Hutch, as you and I talked about, where he's kind of seen himself for what he was, and he wants to give back to wrestling as opposed to taking from wrestling. You know, it's I think that's what it comes down to. Depending on who you ask, you have to remember what generation of Cena they were around backstage.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were saying. That's why, I mean, the US Open Challenge was the beginning of him changing his style and giving us more. But then when Owens came out and then he lost to Owens on the pay-per-view, like that was a huge shock. And then we all saw it happening. And then in the interview recently, he basically spoke directly about it. He's like, I started going to guys, like I had a bit of an awakening, 5 moves of doom. I'm in the main event. All these guys are coming in that are doing such great things and have such great characters and like really know who they are through and through. And I like, the truth is I'm kind of a corporately made character, and like, I only do my 5 moves of doom. And like, and he started giving back and wanting to learn and asking them. And we didn't realize that was happening, but we saw it happening. And now he's in this interview literally saying, yeah, that's what happened. And thank God it's what happened, because really that's the only pure answer to give. Anything else would have been unacceptable. Like, yeah, no, the corporate ups told me I needed to add some more moves, or we realized on paper that we would sell more merch if I changed more. Like, I don't know if that was just a line in the interview, but it was the right line.
Yeah. Bob, you've been in around WWE shows, events, backstage, at the seats. You've been all over the place. Before we go into the card, do you want to talk a little bit, about John Cena, like what he means to you? What legacy do you think he's going to leave on the business itself?
Yeah, I think he's, what they said about him changing the company after the Attitude Era ended. He's really the first star to come out of that and really carry the company. So, a lot of what they said in the videos, I don't think it's just hype or hyperbole. I think it's actually true. He was the guy who ushered in that era, took them through the PG era, brought them to the point where he could hand it off to the people today who are, taking it even to higher levels. I think without him, you don't see the company where it is today in terms of mainstream appeal, in terms of making those big TV deals, right? I think he was the guy who ushered that era in. Maybe wasn't fully responsible for all of it, but certainly was the person who, set them up for the greatest success they've ever had financially. Maybe not creatively, but some people would argue even creatively.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Certainly moved some merch. I'm sorry you couldn't get a Gunther shirt tonight. I see you're wearing your Dude Love shirt though. That's great.
Yeah. I always like to wear a tie-dye shirt when I'm at a show to be on. I can spot myself on TV.
That's great. Yeah, I had a hat for a while where the girlfriend was always like, "I love it when you wear that hat." She's like, "I can just." There he is. Yeah.
Yep. There we go. I know he's there, kind of like the whole backstory of Green Shirt guy, right?
Yeah. Hey,
Finley, do you guys think?
I'm sorry. Were you able to see the socks when he took off his shoes? Did they show it on the Titantron? He had never give up socks on.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they showed that.
Yeah, that all these years I've hated Cena, and now that made me love him. That was enough. In the very last minute, he's over with me now.
I love that. Another comment from a listener. Do you guys think Bob could have taken Gunther? Brandon, Bob couldn't even take Scarlett in TNA TV. There's no way he could take on Gunther.
I don't know. Depends on the time and place. Come on, you could probably sneak up on him. I got faith in you, Bob.
I appreciate it. I would not try.
Exactly. All right. Another one. We have Yay post-show live stream. Yes, that is right. For those of you listening on KPHR, go to the Facebook.com A Plus Productions, because we are going to start doing more of these post-shows live right after the major pay-per-views. With so many pay-per-views, we might pick and choose one a month. We'll see. But we're going to try to do more live shows. I work better live. I like doing live a lot more. But yes, so those of you listening on KPHR, we are going to be talking fully about John Cena today. We might touch on a couple things at the very end, but most of the show will be dedicated to John Cena. All right, gents, let us quickly go through the card. And Bob, we'll get your reaction, how it happened, how it felt live. And Hutch, well, we don't really talk as the shows are going on, so we're gonna get what you thought. So we started the night off. We talked a little bit about this, but let's go a little deeper into this. WWE champion Cody Rhodes versus NXT champion Obafemi in a non-title match. This match ended in a DQ as Drew McIntyre made his presence known and beat the living shit out of Cody Rhodes until Obafemi attacked him, and then the two faces get together, blah, 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 blah. The peasants rejoice, and they celebrate together. Personally, I honestly thought that Obafemi could have gotten over and gotten the win. I think that would have been left a huge impact, especially on a show when you want to showcase the NXT talent and the future. I thought that was the whole point of this show. So I'm surprised that they didn't give Obafemi, even if Ricky Saints, even if Drew McIntyre were involved in the end. I still think that Obafemi should have taken the W. Bob, talk to us about that reaction where once Drew McIntyre got involved.
Well, I think Hutch put it right. Like, you could see the whole crowd looking to see the interference come in. I mean, it was not a surprise that someone was going to interfere. I think most people expected it to be Drew, and they weren't disappointed. But if they, or they weren't surprised when he came out. I liked the match itself. I thought it was good. I don't know if this was meant to necessarily put all the NXT talent over. I think it was to expose them to a new audience, to a bigger audience. I think it worked. And I think people will be talking about Obafemi. If they've not seen him on NXT, I think they'll be talking about him come Monday for sure. I wasn't surprised by the ending. I think it's a pretty typical WWE way to keep everyone looking strong. And from that standpoint, I think it worked.
Hutch, thoughts on the match?
On the opening match, I mean, it seemed really short. I was hoping to get more out of it. Like, by the time Drew interfered, I didn't feel like it was a place for interference yet. Like, you want to get to the point where you think someone's going to win, and then you're upset that the interference happened. People are more upset this interference happened because it just screwed up the match, not because he screwed over any particular athlete. And maybe that's the way the higher ups wanted it. They don't want to put anybody over specifically. Obafemi's still not really a proven commodity. Like, one of the reasons John Cena is so over is because he didn't get injured that often. And when he did, he recovered real quickly. Guys like Batista and other guys who were there throughout this rise, their injuries took longer to recover from. They got hurt more often. Edge, unfortunately, he got hurt a lot in a lot of ways. Not everybody can be made of rubber, and John Cena seems to have a little bit of Owen Hart in him. God rest. I'm not sure if they really wanted to give Obafemi the rub. Also, as a next in line competitor, he's fallen in love with wrestling. He was not, particularly, he might not have been a passionate wrestling fan to begin with. So they've made the mistake so many times that they probably are a little more trepidatious than we are. But if they were going to have him go over, they should have had him go over like Vader style, man. Like, surprise everybody, smash him over. I don't know. I could keep going in the way that the fact that Drew just slid in and interfered. I mean, they could have easily. Cody was so distracted when he made the offer. Hey, it'll be one of you two fighting me at Saturday Night's Main Event. Like, he was looking over his shoulder. He's all disheveled. Yeah, this is what's happening. Okay, bye. And then he's distracted talking about Drew, and Oba came out. And he's like, "You're thinking about the wrong man. I'm your opponent." It could have been very easy for Drew to distract him, or Cody to be distracted, or even something, on YouTube beforehand, like Cody got attacked by Drew before the match. He's totally frazzled. There's a reason why Oba got over on him. That isn't due to Cody's lack of skill. It was due to Cody's lack of focus. And, they could have gone in that fashion, but this isn't how I would have booked it, but I'm sure they had a reason.
But if they are a bit trepidatious about him, if he is unproven, do you really want to put him over your champion? And
that's why, well, that's what I was saying. That's probably why they didn't. But you want to give him the opportunities to see, throw him in with the fishes and see how fast he can swim. And man, he sure looks good. It's too bad Drew is bigger than him. That kind of destroyed the aura a little bit. And it's too bad that Drew, who really is like the most imposing and like, dude, he really should be their Hogan, like with the voice, the gravitas, the accent, the size, the body, that freaking even just like the little bits of hair. Like, he's not even like, you know what I mean? He's just so much man there. I just can't believe they keep shitting on him. Like, for somebody who's a big Drew mark, at least for his potential, even I'm starting to feel the shine get a bit dull. It's too bad.
See, and that's the scary part, right? That right there. Something that I did notice on Bob, I'm not sure if how close you were or if you were able to see a screen during the entrances, but the way that they even produced Obafemi's entrance with that low camera angle looking up, very similar to what they did with Omos while he was there. It was very cool, making him just seem and look like a monster. It was a very, very cool visual, to say the least. So, at least I feel like they have faith in Oba, but I think that we'll see what happens moving forward. But it was very cool for him to get the shine over the past couple of days to be able to face the champ, Cody. Right? The result, we can debate and discuss this for a very long time. But at the end of the day, he got showcased, he got shown off, and he is one of the future pillars of the WWE. Bob, overall, Obafemi's reaction with the live crowd, how was it?
Oh, it was really strong. I'd say the crowd was really split. For every "Let's go Cody," there's a "Let's go Oba," and the who, like during his entrance and during the match, people were behind him. So I think if they can keep up the momentum, if he can not screw up, I think he's got real potential to go far.
See, he seems like he has a good head on his shoulders too. I don't think he's going to screw around backstage, but just like we were saying with Drew, we're right on the cusp there. I mean, it doesn't take long for it to be like, whoa, it's Obafemi. It doesn't matter how much you shoot him from below. I mean, Big Show got, it's hard to believe Big Show could beat anybody these days, or like near the end of his career, or would not be surprising rather for anybody to beat him. He could beat anybody. You'd tell you that all the time. How are you going to get him out of the Royal Rumble? But it would never be surprising if anybody beat him. I mean, James Ellsworth could have rolled him up and you'd have been like, oh, Big Show got beat. So hopefully they don't get there.
My biggest fear for Obafemi is he wins the Andre Battle Royal.
Oh yeah. It's like a death sentence. Jesus. The only thing worse is being Sammy Guevara's tag team partner these days. You're bound for injury. Like, oh my God.
Or Chelsea Green's before, right? There you go. All right. The next match of the night was Bayley versus Sol Ruca. Only gave them 9 minutes and 30 seconds. But again, I feel like this was a great showcase for Sol Ruca. And it was cool to see Bayley in a PLE special, whatever you want to call it, in a match of importance. Bob, I'll go to you first. Thoughts on the match. And you can talk to us about the live in-person experience, including what people thought of Sol Ruca and whatnot.
Yeah, so this is the one match I thought that had the right outcome and a good finish, of the four. And, again, the crowd really seemed to appreciate Sol Ruca. They went crazy about her finisher, the Soul Snatcher, I think. I think, again, this was a good showcase for her. It's funny, right? Like Bayley, as you said, right? It's good to see her on TV. It's good to see her in a match. I wonder what they do with her. I thought, this might have been the time, because she had for a while had been the split character, right? Half Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type thing. I thought, okay, is this the one that's going to make her snap? And she's going to, like, after they did the, all four raise their hands, I was expecting some sort of attack. I didn't get it, but, so I guess there's more. Where do they go from there with her? But what do they do with Sol Ruca now? Do they bring her up to the main roster? Do they put her back down to or put her back into NXT? It'll be interesting to see where she goes, because I think, again, she opened up some eyes tonight.
Right. And the thing with Sol Ruca there is the fact that, she does have this weird ongoing story with Zarya in NXT. So are we going to continue that? They made up over this past week, but it is pro wrestling. We know that, makeups and all that mean shit. Hutch, thoughts on the match?
A good match. Thoughts on what we were just talking about there. It's not Triple H booking NXT, so they're not going to just drop a storyline because they had it going on for too long. I think that Sean wants to have her come back and have their little thing going on with Zarya. They got to finish that off. They're not going to bring that to the main roster. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to bring her up right away. But she certainly snatched some souls. She has something about her, it was pretty awesome. Probably the right move, probably to have her win. And as far as Bayley's concerned, I feel like WWE really is so much more corporate right now. Funny enough, the fact that she hasn't been dabbling in this character, and the last few appearances with Lyra Valkyria have been so at first the sycophancy of kind of, we're such great buddies, and Lyra kind of giving it a look. The look went away, and then it was there, and now it's not going away. And I'm like, this is it now. You guys are friends. Okay. And I realized that they're putting over Bayley's seminars on Twitter and other places. And like the corporate machine has decided, we're selling Bayley right now. We want to sell her school. We want to sell her. Like, we want her to be a positive, like we're dropping this wacky shit. So it's all corporate, man. I'm telling you, like, there's no creative side anymore. Any creative that gets in the way of a possible direction is going to get squashed right away. And, Triple H obviously does not seem to care about that stuff because, like,
I wouldn't say he doesn't care. I don't say I wouldn't. Again,
he hasn't lose any sleep.
Triple H,
put it that way.
He knows his place. He knows his place in the corporate ladder right now, right? Like that's the reality of it. I think he is doing his job. Myself being part of a acquisition, sometimes you just smile, nod, and continue to do your job, but reminisce of the good old times. That's really, I think, where Triple H is. I can really sympathize with him in that point of view. But yeah, we'll see. It's very interesting. What are they going to do with Bayley? Those of you watching live, let us know what you think the future holds for Bayley and Sol Ruca. But this match was exactly what it was supposed to be. As you guys were talking about, like the whole what are we going to do about Bayley type thing, I was also thinking outside of the Drew McIntyre thing, this show kind of felt like out of canon, like an annual. Like in comic books, Hutch, that annual, that standalone story. That's what this kind of felt like.
It was a crossover. It was NXT versus WWE, the mutants against the Fantastic Four, because it was 4 matches, right? So who was the Obafemi's the thing? We all know who the thing is. So I was about to ask who's who, and I'm like, we know who's who. We had one girl match. Obafemi's the thing. This is not going to be hard to figure out.
Bayley's kind of an invisible woman right now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep.
Badum.
I'm here all night, folks.
There we go. We only have about 20 minutes left here at KPHR. So the next match of the night was for the it was a non-title match. The World Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, apparently they're calling themselves Phenomenal Lee, versus Javon Evans and TNA X Division Champion Leon Slater. This match disappointingly only went 6 minutes and 30 seconds, but in such a short amount of time, everyone just looked phenomenal. Yes, that's right. I did it, and I stand by it.
Everybody just looked Lee, very dragonish. See, this is why I don't like to go live, Boris. I can cut out bad jokes. Anyways, Bob, how was this match received? I know they probably got the most chance from the audience, at least as the audience responded. They got what they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, when you said it's only 6.5 minutes, I'm surprised because it didn't feel short. I mean, they put everything they possibly could do in that match. That even the first opening minute with the dives and the front flip by Leon Slater over the corner turnbuckle. It's just, I mean, some of those moves are breathtaking. It didn't feel rushed, but I thought the ending, I don't know what, I just felt flat to me. But again, I think the right outcome, but there was something that just felt wrong with the timing, maybe the ending, or just the way it came out of almost nowhere.
Interesting. I actually didn't see the ending. This match went so fast. I got distracted for a few moments with something, and then it was suddenly over. And I was like, oh, so I didn't, and I will go back and watch it because this match was very interesting. But I mean, good practice for being on the main roster, getting your time cut. Hey, you got 6 minutes, or at least for your first WrestleMania, your 20-minute match is now 6 minutes. Have fun. I didn't go through commercials, so didn't get to that kind of stuff. Javon Evans obviously has a big future, tall kid. He's going to gain weight over time. They love him. Big smile, great in the ring. And first you think Leon Slater, is he going to be the Marty Jannetty here? He's the smaller guy. He's not quite as like dashingly good looking and all this stuff. But outside the ring, Leon Slater is an extremely cerebral and intelligent young man. He moves with grace. He speaks. He's very interesting man. So I think there's a big future for him in the industry in general. And this is a really cool tag team. I think they were going to very much complement each other as time goes on. And you might even see that Slater might end up being a really big star. Like, I don't want to say bigger than Javon Evans, but like, I think there really is something there with this kid. It's very interesting.
This is one of those few teams that you're not sure who's going to be which. I kind of feel like both men can move on to have a great great career in the future. Bob, are you still keeping up to date with TNA?
Yeah, I'm still watching it. Not every week, but I'm still certainly following it.
Yeah, so like Leon Slater on TNA TV, you know, they're constantly pushing him. He's kind of like at that point where I have a feeling that 2026 might be his breakout year in TNA. I can honestly see that. But having said that, you know, we've seen Joe Hendry move over. We've seen Jordan Grace move over. I think it's almost safe to say that Leon Slater might be the next poach from TNA.
Could be. I mean, with the AMC deal, who knows? I mean, WWE might be incented to keep TNA's roster strong, just so that they can continue to leverage that relationship a little more. Get their people on AMC network as well, who would otherwise be there. And I think the other thing for Leon Slater is, with the option C that TNA allows, that could be the way to elevate him to the main roster or to the world title scene even quicker than he normally would take to get there.
Mm-hmm. Something of note, AJ Styles pinned Leon Slater to end this match, and there's a lot of rumors about AJ Styles making an appearance on TNA TV when they do move to Thursday Night Impact on AMC. Are these the seeds being planted for said match? What do you think, Bob?
It certainly wouldn't surprise me. Again, right, with whatever the machinations are, right, to avoid the antitrust lawsuits, whatever, is it to a power play to try to knock AEW down to the number 3 position, right? I think there's definitely incentive to have AMC and TNA on AMC to be a strong product for WWE.
Yeah, and I think Shapiro was saying something in a recent interview about they have a deal with WWE, and it's like it's for a certain amount of years. So somebody was saying something to him about, do you think this is? I can't remember what it was. The question in the interview alluded to something to do with the Netflix deal, the Warner deal, and perhaps some affecting AMC and changing the footing that they were under. And Shapiro was like, maybe in the future, but right now we got a great relationship, we got a great deal. It's in ink on paper, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of years. So yeah, as far as antitrust or AMC or any of this stuff, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. And I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of it all, TNA doesn't work with WWE. They might stop at the end of it all. Like, it's not that surprising. So far, every time that WWE's done this kind of deal, and we don't know if it's similar to the Progress or the Insane Championship or anything like that. But do they have the option to buy TNA? Is this kind of thing where at the end of it, TNA is going to say thanks, goodbye? We've realized, we've gotten all we can out of you, but the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Like, we're putting your guys over a lot more than you're putting ours over. So, like, who knows? But I think they're gonna use it for however long it lasts as best they can. Shapiro's a smart guy, but I don't expect this to last forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Miz comes out. He demands respect. R-Truth comes out, and he said he saw the footage of what Miz did at the drawing for the Last Times Now tournament. He says he did something inappropriate with Nick Aldis's balls. Truth was a little confused, and so was every single viewer. He gives him the ball. He opens it up. He says Joe Hendry's name. He comes out, and yada, yada, yada. They do a 5-knuckle shuffle. Quick pin. Leaves everyone very happy. So we had a little Miz, Joe Hendry, R-Truth skit there. Bob, what was the reaction? Like, you know what? I got to say, that reaction for Joe Hendry, at least on TV, sounded insane.
Yeah, people really were excited when he came out. People were, as soon as Miz pulled out the note, you could kind of read it backwards. People were going crazy. From where I was, you could see him slide from underneath the ring and slide out to the other side behind Miz. So, and people went wild, and they loved the music, right? People were singing along, clapping along to the music. I was not a fan of them doing the "You Can't See Me." I thought that should have been saved for only Cena tonight. But people seem to enjoy it. If it didn't happen, I wouldn't have missed it.
There you go. Well, it's not like Orange Cassidy came out, so you got saved. You got saved. Hutch, thoughts on that little skit there?
Dude, everybody loves to see Joe Hendry, and I love that Joe is where he is. Like he deserves it. He's a very talented man and extremely talented. Like, it's nice to see shooters get ahead. Like, Joe Hendry's the kind of guy who can take care of himself in any situation, and it's nice to see when guys like that end up making a career using their bodies. And it's a little bit of a weird thing to say, but
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of his too. I just hope he doesn't become the one note joke.
Yeah, But you know what?
It's too good for that to happen, but I think that they could pigeonhole him into doing just that. I worry about
it's very weird, right? Because like when he was TNA champion and he started showing up on TNA or NXT TV, he was shown as a very serious character, right? He was in that mode. He was TNA champion, but him being like ever since he lost the title and essentially signed with WWE, his it's gone back like a few years in terms of his character development, right? And I'm a little afraid of that. I'm very afraid of that. As you guys mentioned, he's going to turn to that one beat guy. You know, he's going to be the joke. He's going to be the next Rusev Day or something like that. Right. Hutch, you look like you got a lot to say.
It's just, we are all huge indie wrestling fans. We have all followed Joe Hendry from his days back in England to What Culture Wrestling. Before that, you know, like and where he is now. Is Joe Hendry ever going to be world heavyweight champion? Is he the draw at WrestleMania, or is he Santino Marella? Like, let's be honest with ourselves. He's an incredible athlete. Santino's a hell of a judoka. There are a lot of guys who have been in the ring who have roles that they can kick the living crap out of you. But Steve Blackman probably got more cheers and sold more t-shirts when he had a slice of cheese on his head than at any other point. So if Joe Hendry rides the smile and say his name and he appears till the day he dies, then I don't see a problem here. And I love Joe Hendry, but I don't want to see him in the main event of WrestleMania. Unless they pull some big serious character thing, big character shift, and we love him, fine. But I'm just saying, if this ends up being his lot in life, especially in corporate WWE where they play it safe, this might be where we see him, unfortunately.
And something I do want to make clear, right? I'm just drawing that comparison of when he was very serious to going back to a joke gimmick, taking that, you know, going back to a few years. I fully agree with you in the sense that not everyone is going to be a world champion, right? Just because the crowd cheers for you, that doesn't mean that you are world championship material, right? So that's very important to point out and to think about when, you know, as a fan sometimes, because sometimes fans are very fickle and have the very unrealistic expectations with people. Having said that, you got someone like Jey Uso.
If Joe Hendry can pull a Mick Foley into Cactus Jack kind of promo, like if he can suddenly start, you know, Mankind got to the point where he was very much a joke character with his tie and his sacco and everything, and he came out and had fun. But if he needed to, his promos can make you believe him and he can suddenly go nuts. Now, if Joe Hendry can get to the point where he gets angry, if he can do everything that I want LA Knight to do, like just shed the last bit of cheesiness, get angry, be an anti-authority figure, like come in and kick somebody's ass, get rid of your John Lennon glasses, get rid of little Batman spikes on your vest, stop being a freaking weirdo and go kick somebody's ass. If Joe Hendry can get there, sure. But I'd like them to do it with LA Knight first, because that guy's got a lot of potential. And right now he's kind of a joke. At least Joe Hendry knows he's a joke. poor LA Knight still thinks he's being taken seriously.
Joe Hendry is a top IC champ. That I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Denji 2006, and this leads us into the main event of the night, a 24-minute contest: John Cena versus Gunther. Gotta say, John Cena, he went through his moveset, his ABC moveset, as you like to call it, Hutch, the checklist, very quickly in this match, and then he had to dig deep in that well.
You waiting for me? I've done enough talking, Bob. Wait, I guess. What do you think, Bob? You did digging well.
I thought, yeah, I don't disagree. He did everything very quickly. He had to do it twice. He did the whole cycle twice, and then you know, they pulled out some of the chestnuts, right? Like the leg drop off the top, which looked good.
I can't believe I was gonna say like that leg drop off the top, the way he sticks the leg out and always has his shoe like flat out and kind of smiles. You know, it's like weird. But I love guys who give moves off the top rope where they jump, get in position, and then just like slide and just like sail into the move. John Cena does that. Randy Savage does it with the elbow. Like the very opposite of CM Punk, who's like flail, 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 bam. Like I love guys who just sail into their moves, bam. And so, yes, I love that. I would have liked to have seen a springboard cutter. I did look away for a second. Like, did I miss a springboard cutter?
Well, I think, now because Cody is doing that. I think Saul is doing a similar thing like that. So,
but John does it off the second rope and he does it really short and like kind of squatty. Like, I like it, right? Everybody else tries to do like Javon Evans is taking that shit away from Cody, right? That's his finisher now, right? Cody, done. No more Cody cutter. Maybe he'll get a Tyler Rex talking to. He'll be like, hey, no more Cody cutter. And then years from now, Javon Evans will be like, man, freaking Cody Rhodes like almost ruined my career. He was such a prick. right? It'll be 3 weeks away from the Cody Rhodes final match on Saturday Night's Main Event, where we're having promo packages and stuff. By then, Javon Evans will have his David Otunga slash freaking YouTube channel where he'll be shitting on freaking Cody Rhodes for ruining his career. There you go.
Other than that, I enjoyed the match. I think the crowd really got into it. I mean, there's no question. I'm sure you heard over the TV,
yes.
the dueling chants that this is awesome. That came early and didn't leave for the whole match. And I think the only thing I think is the right outcome, but I thought it was disappointing the way it happened. I think it would have been a much stronger ending if Cena would have just passed out from the sleeper hold instead of the smile and the tap out.
I was gonna say smiling, Jesus, man, foam at the mouth. Give us something, Johnny.
Foam at the mouth. He's got rabies. But yeah, no, it's so Gunther puts him in a sleeper. He almost taps him, makes him he gets the 3, but Cena comes back. Then Gunther starts wailing on his neck, puts him back on the sleeper.
Started
Cena
laughing.
Taps out. Laughs. A little smile. A little smile.
I was like,
yeah,
okay,
there's some interesting spots here in this match. But the crowd 100% over Cena, and clearly the crowd wanted that feel good ending to the match. But realistically, were we going to get that? No, there was a 0% chance that Cena was going to win this match, in my most humble opinion.
I agree. I thought, though, it was interesting because I thought maybe they're going to pull the audible just because of the crowd reaction, right? When Cena got that arm up and he kept it up, I thought, okay, that could be, they could actually go with the non-time honored traditional finish and do things. But I think the way they, I think the outcome was correct. I thought the smile was unnecessary, and it took away from the significance of the moment.
You know what that smile reminded me of? WrestleMania 15, after Tyson punches Michaels out, they have that shot of Michaels and he's chewing that gum.
Yeah.
That's what that reminded me of.
It was a little weird. Even the hand up where, he didn't even let it draw them back up to give people and I don't know. Yeah, there was it was a little bit weird in some of those fashions. As an indie booker, indie promoter, I was amazed that they had a quick run in on the opening match. Big time tap out of your main babyface and attraction in the main event, and we know that we had our pomp and circumstance after, and we were going to get the cheers and the thank you Cena and all that, but yeah, I mean, it's really weird. WWE is such a different entity. They can do no wrong. They have so much power. I couldn't or wouldn't or probably shouldn't book an event this way as an indie booker, but for WWE, works pretty good for them, I guess.
I'll tell you what I did like about this one, and it was interesting because, Boris knows I'm very much I like the traditional face-heel dynamic, and for the first 3 matches, they didn't have that, which really made Gunther really the heel for the night, and it worked. And I thought, maybe it was very, maybe that wasn't what they're going for, or maybe it was very subtle the way they tried to do it, but people hated Gunther, and I think it worked because there was no other comparison to it. No one could out-heel him on the night.
I think it's a weird subconscious way Gunther has become the biggest heel in WWE. I think as much as people hated the ending, I think this is going to work wonders for Gunther. He's retired Goldberg. He's retired John Cena. There's rumors of other retirements like AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar next year. Are we going to see a legend killer versus a career killer type match?
I was saying to someone on the way back from the arena, this would be because Brock Lesnar beat Cena on the retirement tour. Gunther beat him in the retirement match. This is potential feud material, right? Gunther versus Brock. And maybe not Mania this year, but maybe a Mania 2027. And that could be a really good capper to that story.
We've got the Royal Rumble coming up. We love those Royal Rumble face-offs. But yeah, just before you said it, Boris, the reason that I knew that John Cena was absolutely not going to win is because WWE does not miss the opportunity to give someone a stat. And the fact that he retired Goldberg and retired John Cena, I mean, they love that kind of stuff. And he didn't really retire John Cena. If he had lost the match, John Cena was still going to retire, but they will spin it that way forever,
Absolutely. All right, the crowd is booing the hell out of Triple H in their post-show. The crowd is relentless, and they're still relentless. It was crazy, the crowd reaction. Like, you can hear the boos. And I was wondering, Bob, right before the video aired, as Cena was going around the ring, it was audible. The boos and the, bullshit and the you effed up and stuff like that. I feel like they kind of drew out some of the crowd at the very end, right before his video aired.
They didn't stop. Although when the video started playing, the crowd quieted down for the video, were very respectful of the video, and then went right back to booing as soon as Cena took his final exit, and they went right back to booing Triple H.
Wow. I'm not sure if he deserves to get booed that much. Although, man, it's not that the booking's bad. It's just everything takes so bloody long. Like, literally, I'm calling him Stretch Armstrong these days. Like, try and think of something like Theory and Waller, the breakup of those guys, the breakup of Street Profits, the current MFTs and the Wyatt Six. I mean, just everything just takes forever, and so many storylines go nowhere because they take forever. It's freaking crazy. Like, even Bailey and Lyra, it's just everything's stretched out and stretched out and stretched out, and then it just never concludes.
Well, but then you counterpoint the Bella heel turn. That was very quick, and it was terrible.
Well, because it was, you said it, the Bella heel turn.
Because it was a Bella.
They're trying to figure out what to do with her. It's like the opposite of Vince McMahon, though, who would literally change things the day of, and if things didn't get over within a week or two, he's like, okay, forget it, we're dropping the whole thing. And I'm like, you've had 8 months of vignettes for this person. What do you mean you're dropping them? What, the Emelina? What happened to Emelina? What are you talking about? Or whatever. So I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. This is a great one. From Denji, the masked man forever. Hutch, you said it a few weeks ago. You said it as it happened on our Survivor Series review.
It's going forever. I was expecting it on Monday and then maybe the next week. And now I'm realizing this is going to go forever. Like, they're going to make it some asinine person. They might, goddamn, make it Chris Jericho, for Christ's sake. Jericho loves a good mask in the audience. See, like, I swear to God, if next to Sting, being Sting in the audience, which is like definitely number one, like nothing's better than Sting under the Sting mask. The next is Jericho. How many times? Like a half a dozen times in his career, being the guy in the Rey Mysterio mask or some mask in the audience or Penta or whatever. Like, it's, so he's the mask man. If anybody in WWE hears this podcast, they're gonna be like, he makes a good point. He's making the mask. Let's do it.
And you're banned from every arena now. All right, gents, real quick, 2 questions to end the show. What did you think of tonight's show? And more broadly, what did you think of the retirement tour? Bob, we'll start with you.
I like tonight's show. Overall, I give it a thumbs up. As far as the retirement tour, it's mixed because they did the unnecessary detour of the heel turn, which didn't work. People did not want to boo John Cena. Other than that moment in that instant, people did not want to boo John Cena in his final year. But I think, and it was hard to recover after that. But I think the final match, the final night was a solid night, and probably one of the best ways to, it's the best one retirement show, right? Like, I think the last one was Sting's retirement show. I think that this one being fully focused on Cena for most of the night, and certainly the final props was the way for him to go out.
Yeah, excellent. Hutch, thoughts on tonight? Thoughts on the run?
It's amazing how clear you can look at things after the fact. Like, I was expecting some sort of swerve somewhere. Like, it's not just going to be a Drew run in at the beginning. It's not just really going to be him giving up at the very end. It's not really going to be Gunther going to be the legend killer now. But I can see on an event like this, they want it to all just go smoothly. And sometimes you just got to give people not what they want, just make it simple. They didn't need anything complicated or swervy on an event where they were trying to get as many casual eyes on it as possible. That's when you just give them the straightforward stuff. But in my opinion, as a super fan, as all 3 of us are super fans, I could have used a little bit of a swerve. And the reason I'm talking about this so long is because I don't want to talk about John Cena's entire retirement tour, because there's a lot.
You can say it's underwhelming. You can say it was shit. You can say it was bad.
It was underwhelming. And you know what? Like, you know me, I can go a million different ways. I'm Mr. Multiverse. Like, they could have done the heel turn and it could have been good, and they still could have come out of it by SummerSlam, even in the same way. Like, my favorite thing to do is to take the majority of what we were given and just tweak it slightly to make it better. You know, you can always go back to the beginning and say we should do this and then go a totally different direction and write your story. That's great. But how do you take the injuries that existed, the storylines we were given, the beat points we were given, they could have just shifted Elimination Chamber to Mania or changed a couple of motivations and everything would have been fine. And the cherry on the top of the crap cake was the reasoning of like, you fans, this has been a succubus relationship from day one. I was just like, oh man, like you couldn't even come up with a good reason, John. Like if you bloody hell. So yeah, I don't have a lot good to say about this, but in retrospect, I'm glad it all happened. I had a great time in John Cena's retirement tour. And if you told me that at the beginning, I probably would have been like, yeah, sure, whatever. But now I couldn't wait. Today felt like an event. I was looking forward to this shit.
Look at our conversation this morning. We were hyped. We were ready. I
got like a stomach ache and shit. I was like, woo.
There we go. So tonight, I give a thumbs up overall. Yes, I would have tweaked a few things, but overall, I think I like a good event, right? I'm a fan of events. I'm a fan of spectacle. I'm a fan of stuff like that, big stuff happening. And I think that overall, you know, are we going to remember tonight 5 years from now? Probably not. Are we going to remember tonight on Monday? Maybe. But overall, I think they did a good job of wrapping up the John Cena's retirement tour with a neat little bow. Having said that, as you said, Hutch, I think that the retirement tour was underwhelming. I think that this would make for a great episode down the line of how would you have changed the retirement tour to make it successful? Not having Travis Scott and The Rock. That's what I would have done. But overall, you know, it was underwhelming, but we did get some good matches. We got that Sami Zayn match on SmackDown in Chicago. We got Cody and Cena too. We got the Dominic, those two matches with Cena, and even tonight, right? Like Gunther getting that win over Cena. Now Gunther is the career killer.
Yeah, like when I was thinking about career killer, I was thinking they should have done some sort of like Ric Flair thing where Cena was like, I'll keep wrestling until I lose a match and that'll be my retirement. So like every match is salivating, will he lose? Will he lose? But then they wouldn't have been able to do the thing with Dominic, you know, taking the title and giving it back, and like Lesnar and like, you know, so it was what it was. Yeah, but like I said, I guess I'm glad that it all happened.
Bob, thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate it. Always a pleasure to chat with you. It's been way too long. What, are you just chilling, working, real life nowadays?
Yeah, just the day job is keeping me busy, traveling a lot for shows and concerts and stuff. Looking to see, still have some discussions on what's next in terms of the wrestling journalism. So hopefully 2026 will bring something that I can actually come on and plug.
There we go.
We'll give you a couple of our multiversal storyline ideas. And maybe you can come on and basically we'll give up, how would you rebook something or how would you handle it? So maybe we'll do this very subject itself.
Anytime. Love talking.
There we go. Thank you so much, Bob. Hutch, you're a busy man this week. You got Beast Mortos and so many more. Joey Janela, Jody Threat. You got Jack Cartwheel. Talk to us about what's happening with the Man Lucha over a couple nights this week.
You're gonna see two events released this week on YouTube, full events. You're gonna see Wednesday in Oshawa and then Thursday in Toronto here for our two Christmas shows back to back. Beast Mortos going to be here and the unveiling of a brand new championship belt. So that's awesome.
Yes. That is awesome. And your YouTube channel, where can we find all of your wonderful, beautiful videos with, honestly, that Cena intro. That Cena intro was awesome this week. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. The old school intro, yeah. So, yeah, at Hutch Henry's, and I guess these kind of live things might be hosted there in the future. We'll see. But, yeah, we're going to do this a little more often. We might even, I don't know, do like a live watch-along or something. Like, that might be interesting. We'll see if anything's worth it. Not an AEW event. There's got to be one of these, like, 5-match WWE events. So I can, like,
you will see me. You're gonna be seeing the Tony Khan surprise, the Tony Khan special. If we do an AEW show, aplusproductions.com is where you can find all of your information for A Plus Productions. Go to your favorite podcasting app and search for A Plus Productions. But if you just want the wrestling shows, search for A Plus Wrestling. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review. All the reviews really do help us. We were hate bombed at the very beginning because of some people, but you got to get that score right back up. Yeah, we were hate bombed. Who would hate me? Who would hate me?
It's not you. They obviously hate me. You're so lovable.
Well, you're new. Ever since you joined, everyone's loved us. But yeah, so aplusproductions.com. We want to hear from you. Best place to do that is facebook.com and search for A Plus Productions. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us in so many different places. Again, in the next few weeks, we're going to sort everything out and we will rebrand and brand so that it'll be easy for you to find A Plus Wrestling, Hutch Henry's, Boris Aguilar, Hutch Henry's, and so much more. Remember, on our Christmas special and New Year's special, we have the best and the worst of 2025, and we want to hear from you. We are going to put a link on all of our social medias, on the Facebook, and so much more. Thank you so much for listening here on KPHR, Hamilton's Classic Rock Station. Thank you for watching live on YouTube or wherever you're watching. He's Boris, or he's Hutch. He's Hutch. I'm Boris. Thank you so much for listening, but most importantly, stay tranquilo.